strong.
Hi, welcome to Funny Minds. I'm your host, Lynn B., and I have my co-host,
Edward Bitts. How are you?
And today we are very lucky to have a very special author speaker. She's been on radio, TV, and she has a podcast, and her podcast is All the F Words. And it's not what you think, guys, so get your mind out of the gutter. Joanne Greene, welcome to our show. We're so happy to meet you.
Great to meet you as well. I actually have two podcasts. All the F Words is one that I co-host with another writer friend, 30 years younger than me. So it's like a two-generational take on all different topics that start with the letter F. And there are an unbelievable...
Oh, I'm sure. Take out the dictionary. You can find a million things to talk about.
Absolutely. And my other podcast is just my micro essays, and it's called In This Story with Joanne Greene. So they're short takes, 4 minutes long, observational and nostalgic sometimes, and funny much of the time.
Okay. All right. And you do YouTube on that? Do you, or it's a regular...
I should.
Yeah, okay. So
it's not on YouTube now. It's just on all the standard podcast platforms, but I could.
Okay. So you're not doing a video. You're doing audio.
Audio. Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And I'm promoting my book. So.
Yeah, well, yes, you should promote your book. I think that's very interesting. But it sounds like you've had a very interesting life.
So far.
So far.
Still a ways to go.
I would hope so.
Hell yes.
Oh, I mean, you know, they tried to kill me a couple times, but they were not successful. Who's they?
Yeah, really?
One was a car that hit me as a pedestrian.
Oh, God.
Ooh.
And had the car been an SUV, I would have gone under and been killed. But it was a sedan, so I went up onto the hood.
Oh, my goodness.
So you're a stunt woman as well.
So yes.
I said you're a stunt woman as well.
Well, it's not on my resume, but maybe it's worth it. It took almost a year and a half to get over that. So
wow.
So what were your injuries from that incident?
4 pelvic fractures, and the whole right side of my body, all the soft tissue was crushed, but I'm fine.
Good.
Wow.
It was 11 years ago.
So you can still salsa and, do all that
Okay.
stuff.
Is this video? Do you want me to stand up and show you?
Absolutely.
This is video. This will go on as video. Yes, you can twerk. You can do whatever you want.
Yes, you could do it.
And the yogi, I sit with my legs like this. I hike mountains.
Good for
I would think that yoga would probably be one of the better avenues to go down after something like that.
Really?
I know from being someone who's like, I'm getting older by the second, where you get injured just sleeping.
Yeah.
Okay.
I hear you.
Yoga, yes, right? Right? Yoga is honestly a very helpful
It's the best.
thing.
I'm a person, or always used to be anyway, a person in perpetual motion, so it's very centering. I've been doing it for 45 years.
Oh, boy. Okay.
Longer than you've been alive.
well, no, he's been alive longer than 45 years.
That much.
You're being
You're
being kind, Joe.
a lot older.
Kindness is underrated. I think it's very important to be kind.
Absolutely. Especially if it's geared towards me and my age. That's totally welcome.
There you go. It's a state of mind, right?
I believe that.
Absolutely.
I absolutely believe that. I've always said that. I used to say to my kids, like, how come you're getting older and I stay the same? I can't figure this out,
It's odd enough, but I say the same thing to my own kids.
Yeah, really?
Are you guys not related? Or are they two different sets?
Oh, yeah, that's my son.
Ah,
Yes, my son. Yeah.
it's fun.
My daughters call him the golden child, but, that's okay.
I had purple hair way before she did.
Yeah, he did.
I did.
He did.
I love that.
So talk about what's in your book.
So basically, I wrote the book because I learned a whole lot during my recovery. I was a person who needed to control things and felt much safer when I was under the illusion that I was in control, because I think control sometimes is a very seductive illusion. But I was, youngest of 3 in my family, and always needing to win approval and how to be the best at everything, major career, but also how to be the best wife, daughter, parent, volunteer, all of it. And I just went at 1,000,000 miles an hour always. My career, the early part of my career was in rock and roll radio in the 70s in San Francisco.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Oh, how cool.
Whatever you're imagining happened.
I believe it. You don't even have to say it. I believe it.
And then some. I'm still married to the man I met at that radio station. It's been 43 years.
Congratulations.
Wow.
Thank you.
Incredible.
And things had happened in my life, but nothing that brought me to my knees in the way that this accident did. And what happened is I suddenly found myself unable to do anything for myself. I was completely dependent on others. And it forced me to learn many new things. How to be still, first of all, how to be patient, how to trust that others could help and take care of me. So many things. And I learned lessons about how to try to be in gratitude, even when things are at their absolute worst. It really helps. There are always things you could be thankful for. And if you're sitting there counting your blessings, it's very difficult to also feel sorry for yourself at the same time. So I realized that some of these skills, another one was, this too shall pass. It's an age-old adage.
It is. Yeah, you're right.
Whatever is happening in your life, be it a failure of a relationship or a job loss or a loss of a loved one or an injury or an illness or a diagnosis, any of those things, you feel like you're always going to be in this depth of pain, and you're not. It's the next moment is going to be different. It might be worse, it might be better, but it's going to be different. So understanding that time changes and can in many cases heal is super helpful. But I learned a lot, and I decided I would write a book because it was a crazy 10-year period. I lost my mother, my sister, and my brother all within 4 years.
Wow.
Yeah. And found myself, I went from being the baby of the family to being a matriarch of a big family with 5 kids, my sister 2, and lots of grandchildren. And so I really had to see myself very differently and really evaluate what I wanted to do with the rest of my precious life. And then more happened, but I don't want to give it all away. And so the book follows me for a few years after some other semi-catastrophic things occurred. And I got to practice what I had learned. And I'm a much more balanced and happier person now.
So it's a very humbling experience.
Oh my gosh.
to say the least. To say the least.
It's the old adage, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
My mom used to say that to me always, and I think sometimes it's true. I think in my case it was true. It's dangerous to think that that's always true, because sometimes what doesn't kill you crushes you.
Yeah.
Yes.
It makes you in worse shape, or here's the thing about pain. More and more and more pain doesn't make you stronger. It breaks you down. And I learned that big time.
Right.
You don't develop an ability to live in chronic pain. No, it doesn't work.
You must have had many operations. I mean,
Well, I had no operations not a single one. The thing about pelvic fractures is there's nothing really that you can do. You just...
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, they don't want to operate. They tried to avoid operating.
Okay.
I was bleeding out. I was having so much internal bleeding in the hospital that they might have had to operate, but it's often not successful and often makes it worse.
Oh,
I did have plenty of surgeries, but Those are from other states.
Which you're not going to tell us.
Tell you, I'm a cancer survivor. That's one big one.
Okay.
And then I had a really big cancer scare that turned out to be nothing.
Okay.
Major surgery. And that's just a few. But it appears that I have 9 lives.
I say the same thing about myself, and I tell my kids I have 3 left. So, I mean, like,
They used to this time.
that's true.
Absolutely. But no, I feel great, and I'm enjoying this phase of life enormously where I get to write what I want to write as opposed to what people pay me to write.
Right. Yeah.
A writer for hire, and now I'm writing my stuff, and it's irreverent and silly sometimes, and stories. I have lots of stories. So,
well, the good thing is it's whatever you want it to be. You're letting loose, and your creative juices are flowing, and you get out some of those ideas. Are you like me, Joanne, where late night when you're in bed, supposed to be sleeping, your brain's racing? Do you think of a lot of things late at night that you wish you would remember in the morning because they're brilliant?
In my case, can I call you Ed? Or
yes.
Sure. Okay. So in my case, it's in the middle of the night. I have no problem falling asleep, but then I wake up and I'm completely wide awake, and it's 2 or 3, and I'm up, and that's when I have monkey mind.
Okay.
And then I go back to sleep for another 3 hours, and then I wake up again, and I'm frustrated because I feel wide awake, but it's 5 a.m, and I know that I shouldn't get up. So
all these years, I didn't realize I had monkey mind.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
That is it. And it makes sense because it's just incredible. Joanne, I mean, it's just your brain is, and I'm 45 minutes deep into a stand-up set for no reason. For no reason. You're
not going to actually do stand-up, or do you?
Oh, I have, but I'm saying, like, I'm a musician. I've done that. I've done a lot of things, but
no, it's the curse of the creative.
Yeah,
exactly. It's just the brain is just going, and you're thinking, and you're like, and I wish I would record it or write it down or remember it, because you come up with these great things, and then the next day you're like, man, that was so funny. What was it? Like, but you just completely forget.
And so just speak it into your phone. Just give yourself.
I know.
Yes.
I have to take measures to capture it, but I figured you're probably like me in that sense, where the monkey brain is going. And
oh yeah, I mean, it's what's different for me now is I'm at a point in my life where I don't have to think of it in terms of what's going to generate revenue.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not that I'm independently wealthy. Don't get me wrong. I am not, but we have enough. And enough means that if something generates revenue, great.
Right.
And if it doesn't, we're not losing the house. So
exactly. Yeah.
You have the freedom to do what you want to do when you want to do it,
and be comfortable.
How you want to do it.
Yes.
With not having that burden of, oh my God, I gotta make some money off this. It's just pure how you feel and what's going on in your head at that moment, which is great.
And it lends itself to a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. Where in Frisco are you, Joanne?
So, you're never supposed to say Frisco. I just have
Frisco.
Yeah, you're not able to say that. It's like
okay.
Okay, so I'm not in the city, although I worked in the city for many, many years. Have you heard of Marin County, over the Golden Bridge? I'm in Marin County. It's kind of paradise, I do want to say.
Okay.
I call it Frisco. I call it Frisco because I used to live out there. This is like 89.
But nobody told you couldn't say Frisco when you lived here?
Oh no! As soon as I got off the plane, I was like, Frisco. It was just great. But I was
obviously.
I grew up
Jersey.
But I did live in New York. But I went out there for an audition and just wound up out there, and I was in San Ramon.
Got it. So that's the way out East Bay.
East, like towards Walnut Creek and that area. And I moved
Walnut Creek, yeah.
Yep, past Walnut Creek. And I moved back to New Jersey 2 weeks prior to that big earthquake in '89.
Oh, it was a big deal.
You remember that, obviously.
I remember it vividly. Well, first of all, I was doing news at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So, I covered it. But when the earthquake happened, I was literally walking into Candlestick Park. It was the World Series.
That's right.
Oh,
That's right.
I was in the parking lot. We had tickets, and we were walking in, and cars all started jumping on the.
Oh boy.
We lived in the East Bay at the time, and the Bay Bridge was down.
Bay Bridge, yep.
We went over the Golden Gate Bridge to get home. It was quite traumatic. And then shortly after that were the Oakland fires, and I lived in Oakland in the fire zone. So
Yeah, California is like such a strange state. You got earthquakes, you got fires, you've got mudslides. I mean, like it's like there's so, but it's got beautiful weather.
serious stuff.
Oh, and drought too.
I mean, I say it's worth it because it also has like all this other wonderful stuff. But maybe it's not worth it. I don't know. But now I'm here.
Yeah, you're here. What do you need? You're not going to uproot your life at this point.
Well, if I go anywhere, it would be down to LA where my kids and grandchildren live.
Okay. Okay.
I like to visit LA. I prefer to live up here.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't blame you on that one. I always preferred NorCal than Southern. I just, even back then, even in the 80s, even being a musician, obviously Hollywood back then was just raging and great, but something about Northern California was just super beautiful.
It's very, it's life affirming. It sort of supports healthy living and healthy lifestyle. I hike a lot, and I live in a bubble for sure.
Sure.
Like-minded people. Everybody seems to agree about everything, but
Well, that's not too hard to take. Sounds very strange to me, being from up north here, but that's not bad. So I have to ask you, what got you into the music radio end of your career? How did you get started with that?
So I'm trying to think. In college, I started out majoring in theater, and then I switched into radio, TV, film, and then I transferred schools, and I needed a certain number of credits plus one, and I saw a sign that was asking for people to audition to do a radio show for 1 credit. So I thought, okay. And at the time I was really into jazz and no one else was. So I said I wanted to do a jazz show, and they let me do it. And then it was a real hit. And then the following semester, they went to jazz every afternoon. And this was in Boston. So the signal was reached all over New England. So that was kind of cool. And I had always, my part-time job and summer job had been writing commercials for an ad agency. So when I graduated college and moved out to San Francisco, my first job was as a copywriter for a radio station. So I combined the two, and then began producing information style programs, talk shows.
Sure.
This was in the 70s, a lot of feminist talk shows.
Oh, nice.
In those days when rape crisis centers and shelters for battered women.
Yes, I remember well.
So that's how I got into it, and then ended up being a news director of a major San Francisco station, doing talk shows for years and years, and then left.
Is that when you went to college up in Boston?
I went first to Northwestern, and then I transferred for my final year to Emerson.
Oh, okay. All right.
Well, where did you actually grow up, Joanne?
Brookline, Mass.
Oh, so you are you're a mess. You're a masshole.
I am an
asshole.
A proud masshole. The Red Sox are still in my blood.
Oh no.
I know so many. I have so many good friends from Boston. And the funny thing,
I love Boston.
Joanne, is
great.
I have friends of mine that born and raised in Boston and have completely 100% lost their accent.
Oh, I can hear. If you get like 1.5 drinks, it's bad.
Oh, you just get Irish, right?
I had to I had to consciously lose it when I first got into radio. My very first time auditioning in California, they said, lose the regionalism. And I made a real concerted effort to lose it. But I can get down.
I love a Boston accent. I think it's so cool. I really
It's
do.
its own thing, you know, and nobody can imitate it quite right.
I know.
Right. And actors try to do it. It's like chalk on a
Yeah, I know.
blackboard. It's very painful.
I think it's hilarious. To me, it's hilarious. And I've lived in Brooklyn, and Brooklyn has a pretty thick, crazy accent, but not like Boston. And you're sitting there, you know, and I lived in Brooklyn and I worked in Manhattan, and you're with these suit and tie people who have master's degrees, and they look at you and they're like, "Hey, I asked you 3 times if I, and that's how they speak."
Yes.
And you're like, "Oh my God."
It sounds stupid. I remember growing up and thinking everybody with a Southern accent must be stupid.
Oh, yes. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. You just assume like, well, they speak like this, they must be dumb as hell. But the same thing with Boston's like, it's a comic. Like one night, my wife and I were watching Cops, like an old episode of Cops, and a kid stole a car. So the cops were at the door, and the kid screaming, "Ah,
It's a cat.
tell him I didn't take the car." And my wife and I were just rolling. I mean, it was like pure comedy.
I mean, there are so many movies like The Departed, and
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
phenomenal. And even those commercials with the smart car.
Yeah.
It's so good. But
I always like
Boston,
that.
there's different Boston accents depending on where. Like, for instance, that animal that has a mane, HORSE,
Uh-huh.
depending on where in Boston you're from, it's either a horse, or there's a third one. But, I grew up, it was a horse.
A horse?
A horse would say neigh. But if you were from a different part of Boston, it's horse.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, you know what? The same thing with New Jersey. If you talk to someone from North Bergen, they have this totally different accent than someone from like even Jersey City or
Yeah.
like it's
No, you're right.
a specific little tweak to that.
Yeah, like I'll say water and they'll say water, and it's like, it's not water, it's
Or
water.
even up in Massachusetts, they'll say soda.
Yeah,
No, only if the next word starts with a vowel.
Yeah.
The R is put in as a transition consonant to get you to the next word. It's like soda and popcorn.
Soda.
Soda and winner. If you're going to add, but it's because of the and that you stick that R in there.
Then
Oh my God. My sister moved to Georgia and 2 weeks later she called me and I hear this person with this Southern accent and I'm like, who is this? And
It's really easy to type.
and we didn't back then, we
Like
didn't
that.
have phones that told you who was calling you or whatever. And I'm like, who is this? And she's like, it's Janice. And I'm like, Janice?
yeah, she's like, "Hi, y'all." Like, what? You came from New Jersey 2 weeks ago.
But wait,
That's
if
not
you-
even possible.
If you get her mad, the Jersey accent comes out like this.
Oh, yeah.
When I'm around other Bostonians, I slip back into it.
I believe that. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
do. I do.
For sure.
I used to.
You're right in Dorchester at that moment, right?
Yeah. Just
Dorchester, you get a beer and a beating.
With the Wahlbergs. Donnie.
works. They're great.
Oh, God.
How long
I know.
have you two been doing this together?
Little over a year.
Fun.
Yeah, fun.
You
We had a lot of
people?
fun. We've met some great people. So far, I don't think there's one podcast we've done that I can honestly say I wasn't crazy about that person, or, they weren't as interesting I thought they were going to be. Everyone that we've had on the show, and we're once a week on Tuesdays, everyone that we've had on the show, we've had some people come back and we'll visit somebody again 6 months later because they're so involved in so many things, and they become a friend of the show, and we'll have them on again, and It's been great. It's been absolutely great. I've had a great time. I really have.
Well, it's for us, the name of the show is a little bit deceiving, but our goal was to get the most interesting people possible. So then what? No, honestly, it's just whether it's audio, visual, or just audio, we want people to hear a story that they want to listen to. That's something interesting. I don't care what it is, as long as we're not going crazy political or sports or whatever.
Yeah.
Just someone who has done something incredibly interesting and could tell a story and entertain people. And, we'll add the funny, we'll add the banter, because I can't help it. I'm nuts. She's got purple hair, so you can't lose. But, really the goal was just to have the most interesting people possible.
Right. And there's no one genre for us, it doesn't matter. I mean, I can spend hours looking over, resumes or what have you, stuff that they send me of people. And I might look at 150 people and only pick 10 that I think would
really flattered.
Yeah. That I would think would be interesting enough.
Be, Joanne.
Yes. Yes, you should be. You should be very honored.
Flattered and honored both.
But it's a lot of fun for us, and I enjoy it, and I'm sure you enjoy your podcast too. Even though you're not doing the video portion, I like the video better than just straight audio. I want to see. I'm very visual, so I like to see a person. I can really get a lot more out of a person when I see them, and people don't have to say anything, and they say a lot. So I just think that the video portion lends a great deal of credibility to the person when you're talking to them. Not that, an audio podcast isn't a good thing. It's a lot of fun. I just happen to think the other way. So, that was my vision. And yeah, and we're doing it, and we're having fun, and the people that we've met are great. And I love sending out that email saying, okay, you're up this week, and looking at the stats, and I think it's wonderful. And now we have a new look. The producer's setting up a whole new look for us, and so far I like what they're doing, and the visuals are really great, and I like it. So it's fantastic. Fantastically funny.
Fantastic.
No, it's fantastic. We have to use an F word. So it's fantastic.
Actually, we have to talk about the F words.
Yes.
Sure. What would you like to talk about?
Enlighten us as to how it all came about and what you focus on. And
Sure. It all came about because I came to understand that when you're writing a book, you have to develop an author platform, and podcast was a natural for me because I'm an old radio person, and also my husband is a recording engineer. We have a studio.
Oh, good.
Here in the house. And he's had a podcast since, I think it's 17 years now.
Wow.
The iPhone.
Does he use Pro Tools?
He does use Pro Tools. He does. And
he's really good.
Yeah. His is a golf podcast. Very different than what I'm doing. It's a golf.
Hey, that's big. That's big. There's a lot of golf fans out there.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. And he's been doing this for a very long time. So there are a variety of ways you can go. Obviously, interviewing people is one way, and just decided that we would do it as a conversation. And my co-host is 30 years younger than me, so it's a 2-generational take on a whole range of issues. And we decided to limit ourselves to issues that begin with the letter F. And there's a million of them.
Mm-hmm.
No shortage. I mean, everything from the obvious friends and family, and then the subsets of that, like family, friends that you adopt as family, family functions, birth order, all of that. But
yeah,
fundamentalism, fanaticism, feng shui.
Right.
Right.
One of my favorite words, feng shui.
Feng shui. Filters. So much.
Yeah.
And hygiene. I mean, we went in a million different directions. And
right.
one of us would do the research, excuse me, and then we would share stories from our lives, and
that revolve around that F word. Okay.
so there's that podcast.
Okay.
And we're on hiatus right now because we're each working on some other projects, but I'm turning out my other podcast, In This Story, regularly. So focusing more on that right now in my writing, and lots of speaking.
So do you have another book coming out?
Not that I know of.
Not that you know of?
Not that I know of.
Not yet.
Not yet. Not yet. Okay.
Hey, you don't
Gotta
write
wait
a
for the
book
inspiration bug.
Well, you don't write a book to make money.
Yeah.
This I've learned, and in fact, it costs a lot of money to do it.
It does. I've written a book, so I know.
Oh, you know, and this is really my legacy book, right? My life lessons.
Yes.
This is my ethical will. These are the messages that I want to pass down. And then my shorter pieces are just stories. So if I were to do a second book, it might be a compilation of my shorter essays.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
That sounds interesting.
But I have a lot going on. Life is very busy.
But
it's awesome.
But you're very lucky that you have your own studio in your home, so you don't have to go anywhere, and it's all done. He does it.
He does it.
Yeah.
I have a strange suspicion that Joanne has her husband very well trained. Yeah, I think he probably has breakfast waiting for her.
Absolutely. No, he doesn't do anything with food.
No, am I totally wrong?
First of all, he has male refrigerator blindness. Are you familiar with this affliction?
Oh my God!
Male refrigerator blindness is an affliction where you open the refrigerator and you look in and you see nothing.
Yeah.
Unless it's already assembled and in a Tupperware.
Yeah.
You can't imagine putting
They
that
go out and get their lunch.
You couldn't even imagine putting the mayonnaise on the bread and then putting some avocado, cheese, lettuce, tomato, because those are in separate places. So he has that. So I do all the food, and it's fine.
I'm waiting for him to pop his head out and go, "She's lying, Edward."
He's in the studio. It's Tuesday. It's production day.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you got
entertain himself for
You're
hours.
safe. You can say whatever you want.
And he'll never hear this.
Oh, never.
But he's an awesome guy, and I'm keeping him.
Yeah. 47 years, yeah.
He's getting cuter with age. I don't know.
Oh, that's cute.
Well, that's a good thing.
But you know what? I'm seeing someone right now. It's the same thing. They've got refrigerator brain. I mean, he'll actually get in the car and go out and buy himself lunch or dinner, whatever. And I'm like, can't you just can you make eggs? Can you just do?
I don't know what.
No. Yeah.
My sons don't have it. My sons are both really good cooks.
Oh yeah, my son is too. He's an excellent cook, and my daughters do.
Stand for it otherwise.
Yeah, right.
There is a major division of labor in those homes. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I seen a little fur monster come running out earlier.
Roxy is right beside me now. Would you? Here, she can do it. You can do it.
Sure. Yeah.
On, let's see her.
Come here, sweet girl.
Oh, look at her. How
To
cute.
see her face, I have to turn around.
Oh,
my God.
She's adorable.
He's a golden doodle.
A golden.
She's cute.
He's a medium golden doodle, and yeah, the
That's
left
a big baby. I know.
Oh my God. My son has 1 million animals in his house. My God.
I have a King Charles Cavalier.
Love them.
They're adorable. She's adorable.
Little female Duchess is my baby.
Yes.
My baby. My wife and I joke. We joke
heavily. I hope that's not coming through.
No,
You know? And
No,
if it did, it doesn't matter.
she looks like Paul Stanley if he dyed his hair
We're
white.
unjudgmental. We take everything.
But my dog is
Right.
my dog is my baby. I mean, we joke if we would have known that Cavaliers were this good, we probably wouldn't have had kids. Yeah. Probably just have a bunch of Cavaliers.
Yeah. Yeah. Your kids are much tougher.
Yeah.
How old are your kids?
And they're a lot more expensive.
20 and 22.
Oh, wow.
No, I know they're expensive to feed.
But they're not grown up yet, really, at 20 and 22.
No.
Not even close.
And they're boys, so boys never grow up. So there you go.
I'm 56 and I still haven't grown up. But it's
It's over.
what are you gonna do? It is. It's not fun.
No. I mean, my husband and I are both babies of the family, and we're both little brats, and we still are.
You have to be.
You have to. Yeah.
Be.
You have no other choice but to be.
It's who we are.
So you're going. So you're going to. Oh, so he's going to bring Duchess on.
Years.
I know.
Oh,
That was
those are
baby.
really great years.
She's like, Daddy, what are you doing to me?
Look.
Look at the other doggy.
Look at the puppy.
Doggy.
Look at the puppy.
They're so cute.
We're
I live by myself, so I have nothing. I have no responsibility to anybody or anything. And I love it.
That way.
I love it. I absolutely love it.
Hey, after 4 kids, why not?
Wow.
Yes,
I know.
thank you.
I had 2, and they were plenty.
Yeah. Well, I had two separate families, so there's 12 years difference between the girls and the boys. So, which is a big difference. 12 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, she went out. She robbed the cradle.
Yeah.
And then dismissed him?
Well, we dismissed each other, so
Can't just to describe.
it was for the best. But I got a beautiful family out of it. So, my first husband died. Eddie's father died, and my second husband, we dismissed each other after a while. So, after 19 years, that's a long time.
That's just about the It is. Anyway, a good try.
That's right.
The old college try.
Yeah, really. When it's not there anymore, it's not there. But so all you free men out there, I'm free.
No, you're very expensive. Don't say you're free, Lynn.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Available, not free.
Available.
Joanne, you're so right.
You're right.
She is
Yeah,
expensive.
I am expensive.
Absolutely.
There's nothing free about her.
Don't let it make any promise.
I know. I can't say that. You're right. Oh God. So where are you at right now? So you're just basically working on your second podcast.
I work on my second podcast, The Very Involved Grandma, even though they live in Los Angeles, but I go all the time. And promoting my book, which involves a lot of talks and bookstore events and experiences and things like that. And I'm trying to decide, I may want to, at this point, see if I can become a speaker for hire, because I have kind of a talk I give about moving through life's challenges and trauma.
Which you know a lot of.
Which I know a lot of. And, I've managed to accumulate a little wisdom over the years. And I'm very comfortable speaking in front of a crowd. So, and I think it's a topic that, doesn't get old.
No, it doesn't.
Right?
No.
Shit's going to happen. It's just going to happen.
Literally everybody can identify with.
Yes.
Literally.
So I may do that, and I may not, because I may just go for hikes and do yoga and read and see people. And
So you're like, I don't know. I may fake left, go right. I don't know.
I don't know.
I just don't know.
70 in February.
Get out of here.
So good for you.
Right?
Yeah.
This would be a time to just not have to make any.
Really, just sit back and reflect. That's all.
I think your husband should give you a hall pass, and you just go on a hedonism cruise
Hedonism.
with all your craziest girlfriends.
Oh my God! And boy, do I have some crazy girlfriends.
Oh, I'm sure you do. I'm sure you got a little bit of a crew going on there.
Oh yeah. So it's all good, and lots of volunteering too.
Okay.
I'm at that
Well, the
stage.
grandkids will keep you busy. Grandkids will
What?
tell.
The grandkids, yeah.
Oh, yes.
They're 5 and 2.5 right now, and another one on the way.
Oh,
Okay.
man, you're done. You better get a fifth job. Are you?
Wow. You must eat a lot of weenies.
Oh, so cute. They're
That's
so
awesome.
cute. I can't stand it.
Mayos, we go for
They want avocado toast. What do you mean, Wheaties?
Oh, avocado toast. I love. Don't even say that unless you have some.
yeah.
That's so good.
Oh
So-
God. I know my one grandson, he loves avocado and the other one sticks his nose up. But we go from 22 to 3.
Oh my.
And my youngest daughter is getting divorced, but she's already going to be married to somebody else when she gets divorced. So there'll be another child. And I said, please don't make it a girl. Please don't make it a girl. I
Like a
have
young-
four,
It's like
four,
my sister's like a young Elizabeth Taylor.
really. I mean, I've got 4 grandsons, and I'm very happy with the grandsons. I get a granddaughter, I'll be like, oh my God, there goes the bank account. It's gone. I'm done.
Do you have any relatives in California? We used to have a next door neighbor named Len Biss.
Um,
I think they
He
did.
moved
I think they
away.
did.
what was the person's name?
Len Biss.
There's so many Bisses, and they're all over the place. I mean, it was a
Yeah,
very
they-
big family. Very,
They
very
did have.
family.
They had family in a lot in North Carolina, and they did in California as well.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's very possible.
possible.
I just never met. But
Really nice guy.
yeah, over 19 years, I didn't meet all of the family. Just the people that were a lot more local. And when we got married, we really it was I mean, it was a nice sized wedding, but we didn't invite everybody, and even at that, it was a nice sized wedding. It was like, oh my God, when I first met him, it's like I need to record all these names because it's just, so many Bisses all over the place. But actually, they have their own village in Czechoslovakia, but it's not spelled B-I-S-S.
Their own village.
When they came to the same thing happened to my grandparents when they came from
Of course, it's not
Ireland.
Czechoslovakia anymore either.
Well, no,
No.
it's not, but
don't even know
their
what it is.
name is spelled
It's the Czech Republic.
it's
Czech.
Bizz, but they came to Ellis Island and they said, oh, you can't be Bizz, we're going to make you Biss. So that's what they did. And they did the same thing to my other grandparents when they came from Ireland. They changed their name. They took out the U or something, and they took out the O. It was O'Doherty, and they made it Doherty. So, it's like whatever they wanted to do with Ellis Island, they did. So we would have been a ZZ, but we're not. Oh, can't hear you. Oh, okay.
My maiden name was Rosenzweig, and it was Zweig. Very cumbersome. So
Oh, really?
I left it behind at some point. Well, thanks so much for having me on.
Yes.
I appreciate it.
We are so excited and to have you on the
A
show
bunch of little Post-it notes in it.
by
Oh,
accident. Okay. And
It's a quick read.
it was
It's a happy ending.
we had a great time having you on. And again, we are Funny Minds. Please go on our website. When you go on our website, you're going to see we have a store with some crazy stuff. But we have 2 organizations that we're very involved in, and that's Women's Breast Cancer and St. Jude's Children's Hospital. So there's a big purple button there, and if you find that you have some extra money to donate to either one of those causes, we'd greatly appreciate it. And with that, we are going to say goodbye to Joanne. You were a wonderful guest to have on. I really enjoyed you so much. And I will let you know when you're going to air. We'll throw some blops out there for you with your book and what have you. And we'll think of some more F words that we can say.
Please do. Shoot them my way.
Yeah,
So with that,
we're gonna contact you for round 2, and I'm gonna get equipped with a whole holster of F words. Good ones. Good ones.
I have a spreadsheet.
I'll add to it.
Great. Thanks so much. Be well, both of you.
Thank you,
with
Joanne.
that, I ask all of my fans, be healthy, be happy, be wise, and never forget to laugh, because laughter is the best medicine. Bye-bye now.